Well, there's our obligatory 10-minute musical intro. Welcome, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. June 21st, 2025. How about that? We got some magic items to sort through here. 100 of them to be precise. So thanks for joining us here. Appreciate any input and conversation you add to the mix through what is otherwise a somewhat tedious process. Alright, so we left off on the Bell of Freedom, the Liberty Bell. I wonder if this bell breaks people free of like paralysis and stun. It's a rare item. Maybe it does it once per day. Oh, it opens locks. All normal locks. It's like a bell of chiming. But like a AoE version. Alright. No effect on magical locks. Well, now we need to see how much that something of chiming costs. Is it the bell of chiming? Feeling like that's probably uncommon. It's not a bell. Alright, let's... Chiming. F. That's not what you want to see. I'm pretty sure it's the something of chiming. Does everything that unlocks cause really loud sounds? I don't think it's like the knock spell. I don't think I saw that in there. Of course, I deleted the dang item. Freedom. The Bell of William Wallace. Freedom! Ding! It emits a loud, clear tone, but I think that, I guess that's interpretive, how that measures up against a knock spell. A knock spell seems to be pretty clear as far as how loud it is, but we need to find that something of chiming. And any assistance here in Streamland will be greatly appreciated. Oh, goodness. We got some 25, 30 mile an hour winds going on out here in Vegas today, so we are trying to keep it inside. The chime of opening. I knew the chime was somewhere in there. Thank you, thank you. Is that a rare item? There it is, sure enough. 4,000 is what we're charging for that. Thank you so much. Good morning, Johnny Sly. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Chime of opening. You can strike it as an action, an object within 120 feet. That can be opened. This is also one of those weird 5e verbiage, or lack thereof, as I like to say, because it doesn't specify that you have to be able to see the object within 120 feet of you. So what is this, like in theory? You just kind of like wave the chime around through the dungeon, and when you hear something unlock, you're like, that way! Okay, and yes, the 120 feet distance for one item or 15 feet for all items, definitely some differences there. They can both only be used 10 times. One lock or latch on the object opens unless the sound can't reach the object. Interesting. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like these are 6 of one way, dozen of the other. I'm gonna just mark it at the same exact 4,000 cost here. I don't see that any one is inherently more beneficial. The Blanket of Healing. Well, this looks interesting. Speaking of which, anybody out there know about the super OP Relic 4 item known as the Adventurer's Knapsack? If not, I will be happy to post it to you and show you the marvelousness of this item. If you cover it while taking a short rest, you gain the maximum number of HP for hit dice. No attunement. That's pretty handy, a pattern of red and white stripes. I don't know that that's quite worth 5,000. It's valuable, no doubts about it. We're gonna go, oh, I've been summoned real quick. That's fantastic. Appreciate that. Out there in Twitch or in Discord land, what is this little upgrade on the headset? That's pretty cool, Johnny. I like that pattern. Very nice. So, Blanket of Healing, I'm thinking let's go 3,900. How's that sound? And I guess on the opposite side, the Bone of Bruising. Boy. Haven't heard about that knapsack. Alright. I doubt it's in here, so we may have to wander for a second. I think to not bog things down, and that may explain things. That may explain why the Monday table, although it doesn't explain why the Tuesday table doesn't. It might explain why the Monday table is a little more bogged down sometimes in Twitch. I think it's the stream setup we use, though. That zombie thing with the claw going across it. Like, it's a lot of animations and takes a lot of what have you on its own. But additionally, as I was trying to start to meander in that direction, I think it's Monday, Tuesday where I keep all of our relics, so that way I don't have all of them loaded into every game page, just to avoid unnecessary lag and extra storage. Of course, I could be wrong. It could be in the Sundays, but I'm pretty sure it's over here. I am wrong. It's over in... Did I join as player? Yeah, I sure did. I wonder I don't have anything in here. Oh, what can I say other than it is a good day, my friends. It is a very, very good day. Okay, here we go, here we go. This is the GM side. And do I have... Yes, Deck of Magical Mystery 1, 2... I don't think we have any Tier 3 triple annual subs here, so I've not yet added those. Oh dear. So Monday, Tuesday, adding content. Tome of Magical Mystery 4. Magical Mystery Tour. Step right up. Oh, and sadly for Monday Table, Jim is no longer able to join us, so I will be freeing up this spot right here. It's not anything cruel. If you look at the compendium sharing thing, it literally says 15 players is the limit for how many players you can have at a table to share your compendium with before you start running into issues. So I try to keep it right at that max. I think one of our tables has 16 at it because we don't have players on the same, like John Banks plays Monday and Tuesday, so that would be 2 players on this table otherwise. For some reason, though, it doesn't want to let me remove Jim. There we go. Yep, 14 players. You will be missed, my friend, and as I said, man, when things stable out again with the schedule, you hit me up. Oh my gosh. Hey, Brian Levengood advanced to level 1 here in our Discord home base. Super cool. Always fun seeing people's advancement in that regard. Alright, let's get over here to the knapsack. This next one's called Flag on My Knapsack, my 50 mission cap. I worked it in. Okay. Riddles, no. Tome of Magical Mystery 4. Ah, yes, the Adventurer's Bedroll. So this is what it looks like, this beautiful thing right here. You wouldn't think it's damn near the finest magic item any character would hope to own. The suspense is worth the wait. Does not require attunement. Anyone using this bedroll gains the benefits of a full night's sleep in 15 minutes if uninterrupted during this. They cannot be surprised while using it. They also awake with the following: 3d10 temporary hit points, advantage on the first roll of the day, basically, in each category, and they ignore the first step of exhaustion if it would occur during that adventuring day. You get one of these in a standard adventuring party of 4. You get a long rest in 1 hour. I have used this magic item 1 time and 1 time only. It was in one of our last Endemir homebrew campaigns we ran, and I think I was using the gritty realism rules, where it's 8 hours for a short rest and 7 days for a long rest. So when they finally got up to like level 12 and I dropped this on them, it was a game changer, to say the least. Yep, I wouldn't trade it for a feathered mattress. In fact, I'd fight you for it. So yeah, that is a very fine item right there. Just a peek at some of our tier 4 items. Technically, I use some of these for tier 3 as well because we don't have a quadruple annual, nor will we ever. So the triple annual serves for a larger playing field of relics if and when we have players rejoin that category. Of course, we don't see the descriptions on any of these, but just some examples. Ooh, the Maestro's Muse. I know for a fact that they call him the Maestro. The Vorpal manual, I think, will actually allow you to create a Vorpal weapon from scratch using this, if I recall correctly. Although I'm no stranger to introducing a Vorpal sword or 2 into somewhat low-level parties on occasion, because that's my history. My very first game that I played, even though my character was slain like 15 minutes into the adventure, my brother at the time ended up giving me his notes for that module, so I saw the quest that I was to play, and I saw that had I completed it, a Vorpal sword was one of the earlier rewards. It wasn't even the end game reward for completing the dungeon. Okay, so let's get back to the compendium. The Bone of Bruising. Yeah, a lot of these items from Mordenkainen's tome. Rare attunement, bonus action to toss it into the air. It hovers, flies up to 30 feet, and attacks a creature of your choice. Attack bonus +5, inflicts dagger plus decent strength damage. When it hovers, you can use bonus action to cause it to fly up to 30 feet. It's kind of like an attunement-based spiritual weapon, but not as potent on the damage side, and after the 4th attack it falls to the ground, and it can only be used once per day too, so that significantly puts a damper on its value. Offhand, I am thinking 1,100 less. 2,800 for that baby right there. Bracelet of Animal Speech, probably pretty self-explanatory. Good morning in Streamland, everybody. How y'all doing out there this fine Saturday? Hopefully it is not 95 and 25-mile-an-hour winds where you are at. Hopefully you've got some pleasant weather and a pleasant day ahead of you. A side effect is you can speak no other language. You only make the noise, barks, and meows of the last beast you spoke to. It lasts while you have the bracelet on your wrist. I mean, I guess so you can still be attuned to it without it being on your wrist, because otherwise I'm like, so you got to spend an hour to attune to it, and then if you want to speak with the rest of the party, you have to unattune. I don't think it's that much of a stretch, but that was my initial impression. Might be able to persuade a beast to perform a small favor. What favor? That's pretty handy. You gotta take the bracelet off. I mean, unless you're in combat, there's really no penalty or restriction in that respect. I don't imagine people are going to be finding need to bounce back and forth. Oh. Dear. Oh boy. Yeah. I can see a character not smart enough to take it off and just barking at the party. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. Oh. I was doing something. Yes, Bracelet of Animal Speech I thought was pretty valuable. It's a low-level spell, though. It's persistent, maybe halfway. Midgard mark right there, I think, is appropriate. Bracers of Lightning. Interesting. Ooh, I like this song. Rectangular quartz crystals, copper wire. Well, that's pretty steampunk. While wearing them, anytime you hit a creature, you inflict an extra die 8 lightning damage. Look at that. That is pretty cool. What's going on, Ari? 22k to our magic item inventory challenge. Sarah as well, dropping 20k. What's our status on that right now? Yeah, that is solid right there. It does take an attunement slot. 41%. Are we, how many days we got left? Oh boy, it has been a morning. I can definitely tell 19 days left. That's like right on par, I think. No cigarettes today, so the bowl has been pretty much cashed a little earlier than usual. It's an attunement. It's an extra die 8 every melee attack. That I'm not gonna go full value, but we're gonna nudge right up against the top right there. 4,900. 5,000 is the cap. If you're unfamiliar with our rare item base here, items will go between 500 and 5,000. The occasional one-shot item notwithstanding, like a potion of diminution, I couldn't see that worth even 500. So occasionally you'll find some that are worth less. Hey, and I specifically... Oh, no, I didn't. I started halfway down, dumbass. Just to try and save my eyes some strain here. I went with a little home-crafted dark mode here on Excel. If there is a way to actually make it done, I'm a little clueless on that. Okay. I need to pump those numbers up. I need to log back in as my Tragically HP account and maybe toss in a few Beskars myself. Although that's a little counterproductive, but also par for our rules of cools here, I think. Bracers of Wind, is that going to do the same thing? Oh dear. Okay, Bracers of Wind. Got this, 31k above current tracking. Getting to gaming and catching up on shows, that's a good day, man. That's a good Saturday, dude. You enjoy that, bro. Bracers of Wind require attunement. Huh. You speak a command word, activate them. They remain activated until you speak the command word again. And it's a +2 AC versus ranged attacks. It's a strong wind that swells and surges around your body, I guess for narrative effects, especially if one of your companions is a smoker. Maybe you don't always keep that up, like you be cool between combats and let your smokers have their fun, and maybe the GM can get a sniper attack off on you as well. Oh wait, that last part was supposed to be inner monologue. That's pretty solid. I think that's worth 4K. The Bridle of Speaking. Able to communicate with your horsey. Good for all equestrians, or you sit in a car with Red and whirl the weed smoke around for everyone. It's like ultra hot box. Yeah, our Swan crew did just get themselves a semi-truck there, so we've got a little spacious cab and extra space for hotboxing back in the storage area. When placed on the head of a mount, it gains an intelligence of 10 and the ability to speak common. Wow. No attunement. I mean, it's the horse doesn't have attunement slots anyway, so that makes sense. That's pretty cool. 3,300. The Bridle of Wings. Just do the same thing for an aerial mount. Give me some more. Oh boy. Okay, causes a pair of bird wings to sprout from your mount's back so you can turn your regular mount into a flying beast. I want Dumbo, but I don't want wings. I want the big ears. That's fantastic. Flying speed is 60 feet. Can't be used till the next dawn. 1 hour. Okay. 1 hour flight speed is very useful, but also very limited, so 1,200. Buckle of Prot. Can't wait for the party to meet the new character. Absolute, man. Those new character introductions are going to be something memorable. We still got 2 more to solve if we're going to have 2 sacrifices. I'm still not certain about Wednesday, how we're going to resolve that. Stew Crew tomorrow night seems like we're pretty set, especially since Kayla is inside the Nexus as we begin the session, but Celestiano was inside the session, or inside the Nexus at the start of Thursday session, and our boy John T ended up getting it. You gain a +1 bonus to AC and saving throws. Huh. So it's like a Cloak of Protection and Ring of Protection, but it's like a rare version. I imagine they all stack together, so if you're going like heavy AC, use all your, or actually I think Cloak of Protection is kind of broken too in that it does not require attunement. But this plus the ring, if you want to go heavy defense and use up a few of your attunement slots, that's pretty handy. Buckle of Prot. Did we... Oh, I've been summoned. So... Hey, welcome back there, friends. Sorry about that. Buckle of Protection. What I wanted to do was look up the Ring of Protection, which I'm pretty sure is 5,000. Yes, it is. So this one is going to be the same cost on that. The real question, though, is the Ring of Prot. Does that also increase your saving throws? Yes, okay. I'm gonna say if it just increased your AC, I may have to do a cost adjustment on that thing. Okay, the Bugle of Reviving. I believe this one, before I went dark mode on this is one that Westy had with a big red line through it for me to take an extra special look at. If I can type it correctly. Alrighty. Requires attunement. When you do this, up to 7 small or medium corpses within 30 feet of you are raised as zombies. Use a bonus action to command them within 60 feet of you. You control them at the same time. Same command to each one. If you issue no commands, they only defend themselves against hostile. They remain under your control for 24 hours, after which time they revert to a corpse. Once per day. Up to 7 zombies. Very cool. I thought it was like something that you could revivify your companions. I suppose that is not the case. Zombies. Definitely one of the lower CR creatures, despite them being significantly enhanced in our Agent Orange setting. Yeah, this is what your normal zombie looks like right here. AC 8, 22 HP, slow AF, dumb AF. Pretty much the only thing that they have that I kept is the Undead Fortitude. So yeah, I mean, they're not hitting very often. They're not dealing a great amount of damage, but if there's 7 of them, you can get some flanks going. I can see that being very handy. Very situational as well. You need to be in an area with corpses around you, or you need to be the type that brings them with you. So let's go upper echelon there. The Button of Blasting. Oh, good thing it wasn't the Butt of Blasting. Okay. That's a different item. A legendary item. The official early 2024 Role-Playing Unlimited theme song here, Leaving the Crossfire by Conditional. I got my reasons why I'm in this game for life. Can be thrown unerringly 150 feet in a ball of flame, 20-foot radius. It's an enhanced fireball, essentially, here. Yeah, 8×6 would be your normal. Yeah, Button of Fireball. A small bone button. Alright. 10×6, so that's effectively a 5th level Fireball of Blasting. Or the bead of, yes, the bead of fireballs. Or the necklace of fireballs with 5 beads. Okay, so I mean that's effectively what that is. Right? It's a 5-beaded, or no, it would be a 3-beaded, because it takes 1 bead and then 1 extra bead per level. So a 3-beaded fireball would be a level 5, so this should be a 900 gold piece item. The Button of Rosy Vision. 1 second here. I am in trouble. Yes, 5 beads would be level 7. Thank you. Thank you, Johnny. 3 beads, correct, Kimberly. Thank you. The Button of Rosy. Boy. Found in pairs. Huh. So it's like a clairvoyance button, kind of. So you can see through it, but you can't hear through it. They have to be on the same plane. What button? This button. Button of... Oh, that button too. Button of Rosie. It's very useful for spying, especially if your character is a tailor and you sell a garment to the villain, or maybe a subordinate of the villain whom you wish to spy upon. I like it. I like it. That is a solid item. I don't think we're going to bankrupt anybody picking it up, but we are going to charge a hefty penny right here. The Cage of Entrapment. I don't even know about it, but it's going to be my new favorite number. It's going to be 2,800. I know that. And let's just see how over or underpriced it is. 6 inches per side. Has an ornate brass handle. You can touch a beast large or smaller with the cage, con save, or they is drawn into it into miniature form. If you touch another creature, nothing happens. They require food, water, and air as normal. Opening the cage frees them into the nearest occupied space. I like 2,800 for such an item. And I do apologize, friends. Bear with me just a moment here. I am fully tapped out here, so in the effort of fighting the cigarette cravings, we're going to double down on the 420 for the first couple days here. Usually tends to be my most successful prospect in that regard. So I will catch you in maybe 5 minutes or so, friends. Much love all. We'll see you shortly. Hey friends, thanks for hanging in there. Let's get back to it with the Camisole of Appearance. Or I'm sorry, the Cameo of Appearance. Camisole of Appearance is pretty hot too. Da, 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 da. Third time's the charm. Oh wow, I was wondering that, wow. I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. I know you've been looking forward to this and frequently getting disappointed. That is a bummer. Oh, requires attunement. Use an action to speak its word, and a gladiator appears. So you can summon a gladiator once per day for an hour. See what the gladiator does. Original version, not the extra crispy. I am actually... Yeah, fuck it. That's a turned page. CR5, 112 HP. 3 melee or 2 ranged attacks. Man, our dude here is powerful. Oh, it's an effect, all right. It's powerful. I think our guy here is worth the near max right there for a once a day item, which for me would be that button of rosy vision, that bugle of reviving. I think somewhere in that ballpark right there. Let's Hitchhiker's Guide this. And 4,200. Candle of Protection. Uh-oh, can you stack this with the ring and the buckle? Guess there's too many candles. Jenny Wren. Any undead that starts its turn within the light takes radiant damage. Whoa! It lasts for an hour. You can snuff it out for early use. 1 minute increments, 10-foot radius, 10-foot radius. Quite handy against undead. Y'all like my my manly pink lighter right here? So I oh god, that's so bad. Oh man, it's so nobody claims my lighter. I always know it's mine. I can't hear that name without thinking of Hot Shots Part 2. Something tells me John Banks too knows instantly the scene I'm talking about as well. If anybody's a fan of that movie, it's bad. It's bad from back in the day. They're jumping out the planes. And of course they all do their Geronimo, Geronimo, and then the Native American guy steps up, me. It's so bad. You knew a guy who had big gliders for that very reason. That's awesome. I got this one unexpectedly. Last week when I picked up that pack of cigarettes, I don't know if this is what they're doing with them nowadays, but like the top is matches the color of the lighter, so that was kind of cool. All right, back to the Candle of Prot. Persistent, 1 use, 1 hour. I like it. I like it at an even 2,000. Symbols of Crashing. Yeah, I didn't think we had any other symbols. 8 inches wide. Each flying creature within 60 feet must make a con save, or their flying speed is reduced to 0. And they require attunement. Well, I guess you can use them over and over again, so that makes sense. moderate con save. I'm a hurricane. I don't know. What y'all think? Limited range of 60 feet, so close creatures. I don't know how effective this is going to be against like your biggest flying creatures like dragons, but something like a beholder this might be somewhat useful against, or other small flying creatures. Attunement required. I'm kind of feeling maybe like 18 hundo on that. The Divan of Divination. Well, that sounds relaxing. Bringing thunder and rain. I'm a hurricane. A low sofa. Yeah, DC's low enough, it's not going to break anything for sure. What I'm going to do is equip a lot of my villains with it and use it to burn through your guys' inspiration, because a lot of you guys can fly now. If you take a long rest, you meet an angelic being in your dreams. You can ask it a question about something to happen within 7 days. Receive a truthful reply, usually somewhat cryptic. Doesn't take into possible circumstances that might change the outcome, such as the casting of spells or the loss or gain of a companion. So basically, if you do anything to change the future, i.e. always in motion, the future is, can be used once per week. That's cool. It's cool. 22. Dust of Sleep. I think we got ourselves a one use here. Another one. If I can remember how to type here. Alright. It's Pocket Sand. You throw a handful, each creature that needs to breathe. Same con save as moderate. Unconscious for a minute. You are immune to the effect. Well, that's handy, because, yeah, I was starting to see through that. Once per week means one use for the rest of the campaign. That is fair. That is very fair, because, yeah, I'm like, we might have a second week. Maybe not. We might call this campaign 6 days later. Okay. Unconscious. Each creature within 10 feet of you. And that can potentially F up the rest of your party. Alright, let's check our other dusts and one-use items up here. I think our dusts are the common items, so we'll check our potions. Clairvoyance, invulnerability, 500, 200, 500, 450. Yeah, 400 feels fair. Is it here or is it later? I think it's in here, actually. Yep. I don't know if anybody noticed the only magic item that does not fall on a 0 or a 50, but I couldn't help myself. It had to be done. Okay, back to the task at hand, the eye patch of sight. Well, that's got Sarah's name written all over it. What do we do? What would you do? Oh my god! Once per day true sight for an hour. Requires attunement. That is valuable. 4,400. The fan of dancing. I'm a fan of dancing. I'm not good at dancing, but I'm a fan of dancing. Best I can usually manage is the awkward, tall, lanky guy head bob. Okay, another attunement. You can wave it at a creature within 10 feet. The target begins a comic dance, so it's Otto's irresistible dance. Creatures that can't be charmed are immune. Dancing 0 feet. Disadvantage on dex and attacks. While the target is affected, other creatures have attack rolls advantage. As an action, they can make a wisdom saving throw. Wow, they have to spend their action to try to regain control of themselves. It's a once a day thing against one target. What the heck is the saving throw DC? Am I missing that? It's a rare item. It's requiring attunement, so most of your items here are going to have a 15 DC, I would imagine. We've seen that pretty common throughout. Oh, 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 oh. Fuck. I don't know, DC 15 sound about right? We just kind of homebrew that edition, otherwise we got to remove the item as an errata. Although I guess I can look that up. Maybe there's an errata online about it. 5E fan of dancing errata. That does not help me. It does say that they've issued erratas for a lot of things, but that does not help me. I'm not seeing anything official. I think 15. 15, once a day, one target, and they do have to spend their action, which is money, but I don't know that that makes it super, super valuable, so we're going to go lost number here. 23, Gauntlets of Dexterity. Is this the old 3E item that brings your dex up to a 19? Like the Headband of Intellect? It gives you a dex of 18. They didn't want to give you 19 for some reason. I guess it's the same thing. That's pretty cool. It's a rare item. Is the Headband of Intellect also rare? I'm offended. So you're telling me that dexterity is more valuable than intelligence? As a slow guy who's arguably smarter than I am physical This just offends me greatly. I understand, though, dexterity is linked to attacks, intelligence maybe not so much, but it depends on what you're using. That is some BS. Alright. And here's the thing, do I make the Gauntlets of Dexterity 500 equal to the Intelligence, which is at the max value of the uncommon listing, or do I make it somewhat higher in keeping on this side? I don't really have any basis for comparison aside from the tried and true. It's always been a problem, and a problem is loosely used in this circumstance. Dexterity has arguably always been the most universally beneficial stat to every class. Every class has armor class, every class can do ranged attacks, even if you're a spellcaster. There are so many skills linked to it. I think even if you look at the skills listing, they may have changed this in 5e, but previous editions seem to have more dexterity-based skills than other skills existed in that respect. So it's always been a very versatile and useful skill. So just in that respect, I mean, most people are going to put some points into their dexterity, but for those who don't, let's give them a 47, that's not how you write that, a 4,700 gold piece path to acquiring a quicker character, also at the expense of an initiative slot. So we're at 253 of what is 331. Making decent time here. Definitely going to take a while, but we're going to try to go through the long haul here and get all of this done. So let's check Gauntlets of the Storm. I love it, Johnny Sly. Much love to you, brother. One of my favorite people. Okay. I think I've used these. I think I gave these to a character. Is this what Sarah got? I don't think so, but these look kind of familiar. Did she get a relic that almost like simulates this exact thing? Because these look very familiar. I don't think maybe she didn't get Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt's pretty money. Storm Sphere? I'm not familiar with that one. Uh-oh, sneeze attack. They usually come in dozens. That was one of those teasers. Little nose tickle. We aim to please. "20-foot radius. A strength saving throw. Bludgeoning damage. Ah, concentration based. I'm not familiar with this one too much. I don't know that we really use this one very often. Oh, I see people put that RUGM tag back on their profile. Very cool. Much appreciated, friends. Sucks that we lost that for a day or so, but definitely we're throwing an extra boost at it to have a little server representation across the Discord sphere. You have advantage on the attack roll if the target is within the sphere. Can you move it? Centered on a point, leaps there, yep, yep, yep. That's kind of cool, having some spell flexibility. Shocking Grasp, you can take away their reactions. Lightning Bolt, if you catch them in a perfect line. Storm Sphere, if you just got a cluster and you want to restrict, they can, basically you can use this once per day, a few times a day if you're doing the Shocking Grasp version. I like this item, I am a fan. Those are Sarah's gauntlets, exactly the same one. Let's see. Oh, so she gets Lightning Arrow. Okay, but she can regain charges by taking lightning damage. Ah. So it's very similar, but not the exact gauntlets. Or did she buy these ones as well? Because we haven't put them up for sale yet, so I don't know how she would have. I'm a little confused, lady. You like the spell options of the one that's gonna be put up for sale? Absolutely, that totally makes sense. Zip zap hands. Okay, in that case, we will make it 1,000,000 gold pieces. So saith the Gavel of Authority, which coincidentally costs 1 gold piece. Now, I am a fan of this item. Very, very useful. We're going to throw you right there in that upper middle spot and check on our Gavel of Authorita. Okay, so that Gavel of Authority. That's funny. It's like Sheldon's travel gavel. You gain advantage on everything. It's skills and it's requiring your attunement. That's actually one of the rare ones that's going to be pretty low. I can see it being very useful, but very selectively useful as well. So actually we're going to go 900 with that bad boy. Gloves of the Starry Sky. That sounds pretty handy. Alrighty. Gloves of the... Isn't that what it's called? The Starry? Sometimes you gotta be more specific. Oh, gloves! That's why. They're a little too specific on these things right here. A little technical difficulty here. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. A light spell at will, 5th level magic missile with 1 charge 3 times a day. They look like a shower of falling stars. So that's automatic 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A 7 die 4 plus 7. Magic missile 3 times per day. Guaranteed 10 points of damage, on average more like 20. That's pretty money. Magic Missile, one of my favorite spells. Retains its usefulness even at the higher levels. Let's... 38 years old, never kissed a girl. Goggles of the Golden Sun. Yeah, we gotta check those settings. Something is not working here. These goggles are something made of this and that. While wearing them, you are immune to blind. Flame Strike spell. Isn't that like the pillar from above? Instantaneous. Okay, so maybe we're looking for 10-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder, centered on a point within range. 4×6 fire, 4×6 radiant, 3 times a day. I'd say that's equivalently useful to the one above. Hello yourself. Goggles, 3,800. They can make saving throws to potentially reduce it by half, whereas the other one is automatic, but you could roll like crap and just do about the same. I feel like those are equal. The Golden Tongue. We don't trust anything in this game that has a tongue after the Vecna Tongue book. Oh dear. While wearing it around your neck, you gain advantage on persuasion. However, you're required to make your argument in rhyming couplets. If you fail to speak in rhyme, you take psychic damage. That's fantastic. I need to price that low to encourage players to pick that up, because that is just too fun to not have right there. Flame Strike was weak for its level, but 3 free castings is excellent. Agreed. It's not the best one that you might devote a spell slot to, but it is certainly useful in many respects, especially if you're getting 3 of them. I think that does cost an attunement though, so there is a price. Can you use the coupon to buy a basic level for the new character? Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. That okay? Golden Tongue, we're gonna price that at my favorite number, 1100, the Gong of Earthquakes. Yes, ma'am. A copper hand gong becomes difficult terrain. Concentration checks can be broken. Oh, absolutely. It's the only way. On a failed save, knocked prone, permanent structures. Once per day, potentially disrupt some concentration. Be down to 25k after that. Very cool. Build a bard just to use the tongue. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, that's a very fun item. Oh. Do send me the recording, please. Concentration in general is just kind of such a weak thing that I'm not. It's very great when it comes across, but most creatures that are like trying to maintain concentration have focus in that. So I don't know that. I'm sorry. Let me double check. Did that require attunement? No. Okay, but it's a once a day thing. So even then, I don't know that it's worth a great amount. Maybe just a skosh 1300 more right there. I gotcha. I gotcha. No problem. Gong of Whirlwinds. It's going to be the same thing, but for aerial creatures. Doing the rave partying. Yep, you're still waiting on the other two to join you. When it's struck, a whirlwind appears that lasts for a minute. All creatures within 10 feet. Strength saving throw, DC 15, keeping it consistent. On a failure, a target takes 3d8 plus 2 bludgeoning damage and is flung up to 20 feet away. Up to 20 feet. Oh, flung up 20 feet? Is there a word missing? And knocked prone. Alright. But it is an all or nothing effect, so you can take some decent damage. Oh, wow. These once-a-day items are kind of among the trickier ones to price. It's damage versus concentration, so we'll go a little bit higher on that. But I think that's going to be it. Good. Hammer Sphere. Sounds like a Justin Hammer created weapon right here. Not Stark Tech. Summon the hammer. You can make a melee spell attack against a creature within 5 feet. Plus 5, 3d8 plus 5 force damage. 1 minute summoning once a day. You can move it up to 20 feet and repeat the attack. It's another one of those spiritual weapon based effects. That's kind of weak though. Attunement and once a day? I do not like that. That will definitely be factored into our cost. Oh. Like to use some new numbers once in a while, even if it is somewhat ambiguous. Try to keep it within a bit of a frame. Some of them are easier to match up to others, like the Buckle of Protection, the Ring of Protection. The Harp of Questing. Interesting. Oh. Harp. Oh, we got a few different harps right here. The Harp of Gilded Plenty. Interesting. Okay, attunement, rare, wisdom save, DC 15, or become charmed for a month. When charmed, they take a lot of psychic damage if they act in a manner directly counter to your instructions, but no more than once a day. Can issue any command short of an activity that would result in certain death. The only way to end is remove curse, greater restoration, or wish. Good gracious, and they do not get but the one saving throw, and you can do this once per week. That is money, 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 money. Yeah, we're gonna go 46 hundo for that bad boy. Heart of Stone. That's the name of a song that just played like just a moment ago. Yeah, another OTE song. Heart of Stone, had to double check that. Huh. Make yourself immune to frightened at the expense of an attunement. Frightened's kind of a weird one as well. Most people make their saving throws against that, and it's taking one of your attunement slots. Whew. Man, that is some, yes, it is. Some multitask. Heart of Stone, immune to frightened at the expense of an attunement. That's a 1500 to me. Horn of the Four Winds. Did I not see that right? Horn of Four. Alright. Alrighty. Oh my goodness. Attunement. Use an action to cast one of these spells. Once used, the property of the horn can't be used again. So you only get one of the spells once per day, not even like each spell once per day. Fog cloud, gust of wind, stinking cloud, wind wall. Let's just double check. I'm not inherently familiar, but I don't think either of these spells are the greatest use. Okay. So they basically lose their turn. That could be handy. Did it have a saving throw as a DC? It didn't, so it's going to be 15. Never let her. Wind wall. Oh, that's right. I can just click this right here. Me doing the stupid long way and typing it in. Thanks for looking out for me there, Streamland. Yeah, neither of these are the greatest use. Neither of them are the greatest spells. It's my pleasure. Horn of Four Winds. less than the one before. Icy Strand. Each creature within a 20-foot radius, dex save, bludgeoning and cold damage. So it's like a weakened fireball, limited uses, some bludgeoning, some cold. That's kind of a hard one to measure. It doesn't recharge, so I'm kind of thinking 3. I don't want to make this into 7 different entries like with the Necklace of Fireballs, so I'm thinking it's going to be random. And we'll kind of do like a mid-ground cost, assuming that, say, 5 shards of ice is the average. And if that's the case, let's measure that against the Necklace of Fireballs. 5 of them, 1200, but it doesn't do as much damage as a fireball, so probably 800 is what I'm thinking. 800, Icy Strand of the North. Let's also just add detail. Just so there's no issues right there. The Inkwell of Scroll Making. Ooh, is this something that'll cut down on how long it takes you to scribe scrolls? Okay, when a magic scroll is prepared, the preparation time and the cost are halved. It's 100 levels worth of scrolls. That is quite handy. Don't think that it should cost the same amount as that many levels of scrolls, because otherwise what's the point? You're just throwing money here instead of throwing money here. The level 100 fireball! Oh my god! The Ben Ball, as we used to call it. Ben loved that fireball spell, so when we got the epic level handbook in 3.E, that was the first spell I created, was the Ben Ball, which was, I think, 20 die 6 of each type of elemental damage combined into one ball. No more Vegas. I'm thinking let's make that fair and fun. It's not going to come up every time as well. Let's go and not even 1,000. Let's go 600. Let's go towards the bottom end of that. Make that a fun item. The Jug of Jesting. Okay. It's a gas cloud, it's a stinking cloud, it's cloud kill, wisdom save or fall prone, it's laughing gas, unable to stand up for the duration. If your intelligence score is 4 or less, you're not affected, so you just don't get the joke. Is that the insinuation? I don't get it. Each time it takes damage, at the end of each of its turns, you can roll another wisdom save, and the effect. Once per day. Rare item. That's fun. I like that. What did we price those other ones at? Now I'm having a little trouble finding those items that I felt were similar. I think it was these right here, the Gong of Earthquakes and the Gong of Whirlwinds, the Jug of Jesting. Somewhat in that vein, there was... That's another thing in keeping. I almost thought of doing it, but that is one price you will rarely, and I say this with not the greatest level of confidence, but you may never see an item priced at 2,400. I am 24 is my antithesis. I am not a fan of that number. So I was about to assign this to 24, but I did not, and usually in that case it means that it becomes 23. So, a little discount. $23.99. $23.99. A ladle of curing. I like the sound of that. Come on, cannot be used until the next dawn. Cannot be used until the next dawn. Cures blindness, deafness, and any diseases. Takes an action to the... Okay. That's handy. Once per day. Cure disease, 900. Is there a potion of cure disease by chance? Uncommon. Okay. Not that I am seeing here. Maybe there's a very rare potion. I think Vitality might be the one. Although I don't think that's right either. I think the Vitality does that plus. Let's check it out though. Oh, wow. Potion, Vitality. Okay, so it cures exhaustion and disease and poison. So yeah, this is like the advanced version of that. Okay, so I think 900 is fitting for that ladle, considering it's just like a limited based effect there, and very rares we will get to someday. We've got all these priced out already. You should, I don't know if you can see those in the old Moorlanders inventory, but of course none of them are available for purchase. I assume you can see them because people are choosing very rare items, and I think that's where they're getting them from. But we've got all of these to sort out here still. Oh, 1 second, please. Hey friends, welcome back. Two more magic items sorting here. I think we are getting some good work done. 268 of 331. Coming up on the final 60-ish of these to take care of. Lamp of Darkness, Lamp of Honesty. Knock these out here. I'm not used to my Roll20 being over here, so I keep clicking the item here and then going over here to Roll20 to access it, and then realize I have to come back over here. So it's a process. Okay, Darkness, then Honesty. 15-foot radius, darkness spreads around corners, once a day darkness, and it takes your attunement. Pooey. I do not like that. That feels like another low-cost item. Oh, goodness gracious. Multitasking to the extreme. Got put in a lunch order here as well, I forgot about. Not the biggest fan here, so probably just get something simple. Do do do. Beautiful. Yeah, did it even include that? Does it include letting the caster see through the darkness? Or are they just like, oh god, I'm blind? No. When you unshutter the lamp, yeah, you're caught inside of it. That's even less valuable. Okay. 500 it is, the bare minimum. The Lamp of Honesty. Let's hope we get a little more mileage out of this one. Cannot speak a deliberate lie. They may choose not to speak once a day. 10-minute zone of truth. Yeah, some of these items you're kind of like, why did they really feel the need to create one? But I guess the theme was an item for any spell effect, so you can save your spell slots maybe? The Leaf of Colors. Yes, and Falling. We got both of those. Attunement. It detects species of creature or types of creatures. If it comes within 120 feet, it turns yellow. Within 60 feet, it turns red. Huh. One species or type of creature every 24 hours requires attunement. That's a handy tracking device, somewhat situational though, but we're going to head back into the 2000s here. Leaf of Falling, what do we got? What do we got? While wearing, you descend 60 feet per round and take no damage from falling. My name's Strahd. What's the difference between this and the Ring of Feather Falling? Oops. mean, come on. Come on. It's the same item. You just reflavored it as something else. Alright, Ring of Feather Falling. 2,300 is what we priced that at. So there we go. The Lens of Perspicacity. I even got my Perspicacity back. I can say it, but I can't spell it. Alright, baby. Let's go, let's go. We're making decent time here. Do you want to fall like a feather or do you want to fall like a leaf? Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of it, a command word, true sight out to 120 feet. Isn't that the same as that eye patch that we just saw earlier? Was that in the same exact book too? If that's in the same exact book, Mordenkainen's Tome. Mordenkainen's Tome, you motherfucker. Eye patch. Oh, if I could spell it correctly, that would help. It's unmistakable, you're a wannabe. True sight out to 60 feet, 1 hour, 10 minutes, double the range, 1/6 the duration, each once per day. Alright. In either case, I mean, this one you might be able to get like 2 combats out of the way we usually run things. This is less likely to get 2 combats. This is probably 1 combat and then maybe travel time towards the next one. But the doubled distance is unmistakably useful, so I'm thinking let's just price them identically. Eye patch was 4,400. This will also be 4,400. Another one of those 6 of one way, dozen of the other. Mask, we got Mask. Is the only power that can save the day. Mask! Freaking loved that cartoon as a kid. That was my cartoon. Those were my toys too. It's also one of the more obscure ones. Like, people think 80s cartoons, they go Transformers, Voltron, He-Man, Smurfs, Jem. Mask was very popular, but kind of sailed under the radar, I think, in the nostalgia side of things. It was like Transformers, but people, it was like Voltron and Transformers mixed, like people operating vehicles that transformed into other things. I thought it was the coolest. This mask made of white plaster. Disguise self, is that basically what it is? You can be a little shorter, you can be a little taller. You can have a girl who looks good, you can call her. You can't change your body type. Has the same arrangement of limbs. Alright, otherwise the extent is up to you. My gosh. I have my reasons. I absolutely do. A hat of disguise is kind of what it seems like. DC 1 hour can be used as many times as you wish. Does the hat of disguise have the same pre-qualifier? Hat of digs. I can dig it. I'm a digger. I can fly. I'm a pilot. Disguise self at will. Ends if the hat is removed. Uncommon. think we're looking for the Disguise Self spell then. And here I am doing the roundabout way of going to it. Okie dokie. Yep. Intelligence investigation check against your DC. This one is a locked DC based on the rarity. The value sounds like the lyrics to Space Cowboy. 10-second delay on text. That's funny. Gotta love it. Great minds think alike. As they say, as Kevin Smith would say, great minds think alike, motherfucker. It's what I say frequently throughout my Agent Orange creation. I've told the story a few times that in the process of creating what I found to be unique zombie apocalypse angles, I would then go to watch The Walking Dead the following week, only to find out that they've put that angle into the story, and in some cases, of course, being that it's inspired from graphic novels, these stories have existed for 10 plus years, 20 years in some cases at that point, so I'm not creating anything new, I'm just thinking of the same thing that somebody else did, so great minds think alike, motherfucker. Okay. Can be used as many times as you wish, lasts for 1 hour. It's exactly the same thing. Yep. Is the long-winded way of saying that. Hat of Disguise 500, we found it to be worth that, so it's going to be worth the low end here. I guess a mask is cooler than a hat. Disguise Self, let's go back and check the Mask of Tragedy. The Mask of Tragically HP, a frowning mouth and sad eyes. Not today. When you use an action to, wisdom saving throw, they are overcome by grief and fall in a fit of wailing for 1 minute. Ooh, incapacitation. Intelligence score 4 or less, has no empathy, no feelings, no emotions. They are not affected. And they can continue making saving throws if they get triggered by damage or when each round passes. Yep, this is again in that gong of what have you categories. The gong 13, 15. Incapacitation is probably the worst of those effects, so maybe we'll go a little higher at 1700. The Medallion of Gargoyles. Gargoyle time. Oh, you can summon a pair of them. Roll initiative. They get their own turns. Once per day, gargoyle summoning. Kind of like a figurine of wondrous power, but gargoyles. There you are. All the way at the bottom. Exactly what I was thinking, yep. This got Sarah's name written all over it. Challenge rating 2, 52 HP, AC 15, flight speed is decent. Immune to poison. Resistance to non-magical damage. Not the greatest attack output here, but you get 2 of them, so naturally they're going to want to flank with each other or the party. Let's check our figurines. Not a lot of the figurines get attack capability. It is the best, isn't it? Figurine. Yeah, we've made some of these pretty spendy. Those golden lions as well. Let's check the golden lions versus the gargoyles and see how they measure up. Oh, sure, yeah, like if you're wearing the mask under a helmet. I could see that. Like if you want a hat and a helmet, and you're like, oh, I gotta choose between the both. But things like that, just in general, unless you're trying to create a magic item slot out of nowhere, like, can I make this item like an earring? And it's like, well, no, there's technically no earring slot, and I speak from experience on that because I did create an earring slot back in 3E when you could just have like limitless combinations. But for 5E, there's nothing in that respect. Oh goodness, and they're just regular lines. So once again, taking the circuitous route. Yay, messages! I can't type. Hey, a new word, bestie. Right there. Goodness. Alright, so there's medallion, gargoyles, lions. That's what we're checking. How do the lions measure up? Less hit points, less AC, less challenge rating, better attack, better damage. They've got better unique effects as well. They don't need flank. And I think I had that set at 5k. The lions, yep, this feels about the same. Kind of similar attack output. You're getting 2 of them. Alright, the net of landing. It's not easy to stick the landing. Yeah, as long as we're prepared ahead of time, that is generally not an issue with me. It can bog down the initiative, but a lot of these summoned creatures don't typically have the greatest plethora of options like we find with our characters, so the decision-making process tends to be pretty straightforward. Anyone wrapping the net about themselves takes no damage from falling and always lands upright. Do we really need another Ring of Feather Falling, Leaf of Falling? I mean, it doesn't say that you fall 60 feet per round. That's like literally the only difference, and you always land upright, I guess. I don't know. I've never had anybody with a Ring of Feather Falling like land prone or like go face first into the muck. So yeah, this once again, I've got that memorized now. That was 2,300 gold. The net of snaring. I know somebody that's got one of those. Okay. Large or smaller, ranged attack bonus. DC 20 dex check. Otherwise, they are, what, restrained? Restrained indeed. Once it is used, it can't be used till the next dawn. If thrown at a creature before then, it slides harmlessly off. Seems kind of silly. But okay, once a day restrain, no saving throw, an ability check or skill check. higher DC has to spend their action. Kind of putting it more on their side of things, assuming you hit them, because you do have to roll a hit. That feels about as middle ground as it gets. 2,500. The ointment of soothing. Lights getting a little bright. Holy moly. Cha-ching. Removes exhaustion and cures disease and poison between 2 and 5 doses each. I like that. Exhaustion especially. That is money, money, money. Let's measure... Oh... Okay, Ointment of Soothe. Measure that against the 900 that we put. I think that was what we did for the ladle. Was that 900? 900 for the ladle because it's a reduced version of the Potion of Vitality. This is an improved version of that, but now I'm starting to doubt the Ladle of Curing. I'm thinking maybe let's bring that down to 600, so that way this feels more appropriate at an even 1,000. Periapt of the Sullen Seas. Does that teach you how to sing sea shanties? I like the sound of that. Oh man, I got double white screen here now. Go away! Of the Shell. Okay. The Sullen, not the Shallow. Can hold your breath for up to 12 hours. Requires your attunement once a day. While holding your breath, being underwater imposes no penalties on your movement or attacks. That's huge. Oh, absolutely. That's the only way to be. That seems similar to that Cap of Breathing, but better. And Cap of Breathing is probably uncommon, yeah? If not even common. Cap of Water Breathing was 500. Okay, so you can breathe, and that's it. So yeah, this is much better. It's the improved Cap of Breathing. It's a Periapt as well, so it's not taking one of your defensive item spots. I like this item. You don't go underwater a whole lot, but that disadvantage underwater is pretty heinous when you get down there. It's hard to do underwater combat properly, but just a flat advantage, disadvantage at least kind of gives you some of the narrative effects. 500. I'm thinking 1,100 more. 1,600 for that bad boy. Pouch of Plenty. Man, I need the weed pouch of plenty. Okay. What? So you can enrich yourself 10 coins at a time. Copper becomes silver, silver becomes electrum, and so on. Interesting. And no attunement slot. I mean, I feel like that item can eventually pay for itself over a great span of time, so that feels like a maximum value item at 5K. The Quill of Necro. So it's an item-based Speak with Dead, but you only get 3 questions instead of, what is it, 5 that they established in the D&D movie? They only asked him 4. Speak of. Whoop, speak of with. I don't know. Yeah, up to 5 questions. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe 900. The Rake of Smoothing. Alrighty. It obliterates all tracks of your passage. Having done this, you can't be tracked except by magical means. Oh, wow. Does that include olfactory? Like, how does a rake get rid of your smell? I guess part of your smell comes from the prints and the brushing with foliage and what have you that you leave behind, although I don't see how a rake removes that. It's magical. Whatever. Doesn't have to make sense. That's pretty cool, though. That is worth 3,000. Everything. Okay. Rake is done. The Rattle of Elements. In case even our babies need to be equipped. The Bone Rattle, the Rattle of... Wow, they got a few different rattle items here. Look at Ari rocking the purple Mythosaur logo right there on our Twitch stream. Let's see, how do I fucking angle? Whatever. You stand up is how you fucking do it. Oh, woo, woo, woo. This is the way. There's a reason why that is our subscriber badge for the first year. After you make it past that year, you start getting the Mandalorian helmets, which also very highly identifiable. The Rattle of Elements. A CR elemental of 5 or lower appropriate to the area. Wow, a once a day summoning of an elemental. Does that include all of them? I mean, they say fire elemental as an example, so let's assume that fits the bill. Water Ellie, elemental, what's your CR? 5. Earth Ellie. It's one of the harder hitting ones too. 5. Kind of feels like they're all gonna fit that category. Air Ellie. Gotta check that elemental gem. Weigh it against that, sure thing. Challenge rating 5 for all your basic elementals, and they are money. Money, money, money. Okay, elemental gem, is that rare or uncommon? I think that's uncommon, yeah. 500, that makes sense. This one right here as a rare item can be used repeatedly once a day. I feel like that's going to pay for itself after 10 days. So 5K is the only way to go for that item right there. The Robe of Thunder. Oops. There we go. Learn how to spell again. When you take damage from a creature that's within 5 feet, the aura inflicts 2d6 of thunder damage on the attacker once per day. Takes your attunement. That's kind of weak. I mean, a retaliatory. Does it take your reaction? Okay, at least there's that. It's still kind of weak, though. I mean, you can potentially be burning an attunement slot to deal 2 points of damage once per day. Not the biggest fan of the Robe of Thunder. We're gonna place you just barely above the minimum, I think, at 600. Sandals of the Light Step. Attunement, no difficult terrain, extra 10 feet of movement. For 1 hour, you can move across water once a day. Okay. How much are... I feel like Boots of Speed I have at the max of 5,000. Yes. Levitation at 45. Any other sandals? Saddle. No sandals. I thought there were other... Oh, slippers. Spider climbing 500. Anything in here is going to be 500 though. Any slippers? Not that I see. Wayfarer's boots 1100. I don't know. I thought there were like slippers or sandals of water walking. And I was going to try to find something else that maybe had some of those abilities and combine their cost. That being the case, whoa, look at that. We're getting close to the bottom. 15, another 40, 46 items to go. We had 100 when we started. Sandals of the Light Step. Let's just double check. Okay, yeah. Once per day, walk on water. No difficult and persistent extra 10 feet of movement. That all sounds pretty wonderful. 37. Let's go with 37. The Scrimshaw Hand Mirror. One hour, you can see a faint aura around any reflected magic item. Once a day, and it takes your attunement. So once a day, detect magic? That seems pretty weak. I can't even justify going higher than 500. I'm kind of surprised that's a rare item. Seeds of Wealth. I like the sound of that. Oh, it's like Animal Crossing. You get the money tree. We'll call that a gambler's item right there. You might get less, you might get more. 2,000k for those seeds. Shovel of Animation. I think this was another one that he had pinned for me, and if it's like the previous one, it's going to be an undead animation item, I would assume. Yep. You can exhume a corpse, it becomes a zombie. You can reanimate 6 corpses in one night. And you get it for 24 hours, after which time it reverts to a corpse. Alright. It's the same thing as the Bugle, except the Bugle was like more efficient because I think it just took an item. Or it took an action to revive the zombies nearby. Or actually, they didn't even have to be exhumed corpses, they just had to be corpses on the ground. So the Bugle is arguably very superior to the Shovel. The Shovel, you got to spend all night and dig up corpses, and you only get them for one day, so like you're giving up your long rest to keep some dead assholes around you for a bit. 2,300. I was about to do the dreaded number there, but no thank you. String of Shackling. The String of Shaquille O'Neal. Alright. If tied about the wrists of a creature that is incapacitated, they cannot break or untie except by a wish, although any other creature can do so. If the string is cut or broken, it loses its magic. Interesting. I think we got 2 in a row there, 2,300. String of Warding. Okay, Magic Circle, 20-foot tall cylinder, attunement. Creatures chosen cannot willingly enter or leave by non-magical means. If they try to use teleportation or interplanar travel, they need to make a saving throw. Once per day, a protective zone. Does take your attunement. That's pretty valuable. I do value defense over offense. Talisman of Exemplary Healing. That sounds interesting. few different spellcasters have access to attuning, mainly the ones that have healing spells. That makes sense. While wearing, bonus action, expend a charge, maximize the number of hit points regained when... This is the unique ability that Johnny already has. Except it requires no action, and its all healing spells are maximized hit points regained. This is pretty useful, though. Regains all of its charges each day. Okay. Yeah, we like that. 3,500 we'll place that item at. New superpowers. Which ones did you roll again for your character? The Tent of Luxury. That sounds quite nice. Oh, energy resistant bullseye. That's nice. We had our barbarian on Tuesday night. They chose the or no, he was entitled to a superpower and he rolled it and he got energy resistance as well, which is just money for a barbarian because it means while you're raging, you're effectively resistant to any damage type that's coming at you. Alright, it's a bitchin' little pad here, a portable little extra dimensional space. Accommodation for 8 people, has a hearty feast included. It can be destroyed, unfortunately, but otherwise that's it's a very nice item to have right there. We'll put that at 2,900. Vest of Missile Protection. Vest of haha, you missed me. You have resistance to damage from ranged attacks. That's pretty cool. Of course, if you're already just resistant to the damage type, having a more general resistance, not so cool, but even still, I like the looks of that. On to the water cloak. This will be very handy once it's all put together. We will have a compiling of all magic items from all 2014 books and beyond in our compendium. We don't have the 24 stuff added in yet. We will not be transferring to that system still for many, many months to come. We'll let all the players that are into it right now work out all the kinks and what have yous. This cloak, you gain resistance to fire damage. You can also extinguish non-magical flames. You can also interrupt fireballs. What? Wow. That's not even a counter spell. That's an automatic, just no fireball. That's freaking cool. The water cloak. 33. Fabrication wax. What are we looking at? Wax fabrication. Involve the wax, speak the command word. You can transform it into a single non-living object of common-ish material. Toxic radioactive. Yeah, that's the great one to be resistant to. We haven't found too many monsters dealing that damage, but it's one that there are few resistances to. So this is basically just a fabrication spell, but it doesn't take... Correct, yeah, it'll last 7 days, the material that you make, but if you try to make something out of the most advanced material, it expires rather quickly. But otherwise, yeah, it's basically the fabrication spell without the 10-minute casting time, is what it sounds like. Doesn't require any attunement. Definitely useful. I think we'll mid-range that at 25. The Wheel of Burning. Wheel in the sky keeps on burning. Okay. A ringed wall of fire, so... Alright, it's kind of like that protective sphere, except people can go in, they're just going to take damage. Once a day, a ring of fire instead of a wall of fire. 20 feet in diameter, 1 foot thick with the wheel at the center. Sure. How much did we do for that? String of warding was 4,000. This is just a little bit less, 3,600. Whistle of Beasts. Yeah, exactly. I see what you were seeing there. You thought that was the fabrication time, not the fabrication duration. You summon Fey spirits that take the form of beasts and appear in unoccupied spaces within range. You can get apes, bears, lions, oh my. Tigers, bears, and wolves. Eagles, spiders, a giant boar, or a saber-toothed tiger. Once per day. Takes your attunement. Not a bad looking item though. 2,700 due to the randomness of what you might get. White Cloak of the Spider. Spider climb, hold person, resistance to poison damage, requires your attunement. That's a lower than usual DC for a rare item. Once per day spider climb, not the greatest, and it's taking your attunement. Yeah, if anybody really wants to sink into that, it'll be pretty affordable. The Wink Brooch is next on our line today. Oh, okay. It's one of the benefits from the Deck of Many Things, but it requires your attunement, you get proficiency in persuasion, and double your bonuses. 15 hundo for that. And at number 300, I think, is where we will call it today. I feel like we still got another hour-ish to assign the item costs right here, and maybe another hour, hour and a half beyond that to reorganize and integrate them into the listing and make them available for the players in our community. And I'm getting a little hungry for lunch here, so rather than put you on hold for an hour, we're just going to call it a day here with the magic item pricing and pick up another time, which should be the final time that we have to do the rare items. Very rare, I'm thinking we should be able to get done in one sitting because there weren't as many to categorize, but once again, much appreciated y'all being here, hanging out today, contributing with your opinions, your feedback, and everything else, friends. Much love. We will see you tomorrow night at the latest, maybe later on today at the earliest with a video game stream. See you then, friends. Are you with us?